can be really hard supporting your child at home with maths, especially when it feels like everything has changed. We've now got new language, new methods, suddenly we're now using manipulatives. In this series of videos, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how you can support your child on their maths journey. Welcome to another For the Love of Learning video with me, Miss D. In this video, we will look at supporting your child with fractions as they enter Key Stage 2, so Year 3 and 4. I'll start by introducing fractions of an amount. I will go on to explain about scaffolds, and I will briefly touch on the importance of times tables. So, by this point, your child will have been exposed to finding fractions of a shape, but they will also need to find fractions of an amount or a number, for example 12. So let's say they got asked, what is 1/3 of 12? They will need to understand that 12 is the whole and they need to split it into 3 equal parts. They will then need to recognise that this is the same as dividing 12 by 3. So we can divide 12 by 3 by using drawings or counters. Because we are only looking at 1/3, we only need to report one part. So as you can see, there are 4 in each part, so 1/3 of 12 is 4. It's important to recognise that there are 2 things going on here for the child. Following the process, which involves knowing how to get to the answer. This mostly involves what kind of calculation it is. And then actually doing the calculation and finding the answer. Interestingly, just because a child is good at one doesn't necessarily mean they are good at the other. If your child struggles with the process, or if the process is new, keep this new piece of learning simple. I'd advise letting your child have their times tables or division facts written down next to them, so they are only having to think about the new process to begin with. This is called a scaffold, and it is a term and a strategy that teachers use a lot. If they are thinking hard about the process as well as working out the actual calculation, they could become confused initially. So only take the scaffold away when they are confident with the process and they are ready. Giving your child their times tables is just one example of one kind of scaffold. I'll release another video soon on loads of other different examples of scaffolds that you can use at home. Once your child can find a unit fraction of an amount, they will also need to be able to find a non-unit fraction of an amount. So let's go with an example of 30. They might be asked to find 2/5 of 30, or maybe 3/5 of 30. To begin with, they will need to find 1/5 of 30. Or 1 part, and they do this by dividing 30 by 5, which is 6. So if 1/5 of 30 is 6, I can now work out what 2/5 or 2 parts are by timesing 6 by 2, which is 12. And then I can do the same with 3/5. I can times 6 by 3 to give me 18. Depending on how confident your child is with multiplication and division, your child may need to do this by drawing out 30 stars or dots or using counters or other manipulatives. Don't worry, I'll be posting another video on what you can use at home as manipulatives to aid your child's maths. Anyway, back to fractions. 2/5 of 30 is 12, 3/5 of 30 is 18. What is essentially happening and what your child might realise is that you are dividing by the denominator, or the bottom number, and then multiplying by the top number, or numerator. This is where their knowledge of times tables is really important, and why you'll hear teachers going on and on about them, because they underpin so many other aspects of maths. Again, as there are now 2 steps to the process, they may need scaffolds to help them while they are initially learning. So the key takeaways from this video are, scaffolds are really helpful, especially for new learning where there's a process as well as a calculation. And don't feel like you need to take away the things that are helping your child too early, whatever that is, whether it is a scaffold or a resource. And finally, times tables and division facts are important, so it's worth taking some time to learn them. I will be posting another video soon on the best way you can support your child with learning their times tables and division facts. I hope that was useful. Please like, please subscribe for more videos on supporting parents with home learning.